Nowadays, with so many different social media channels to be present on, many musicians understandably forget or ignore their own website. While slowly building your social presence on your different social media channels, it's important to also know how a website can help you in your overall digital strategy. That's why I want to give you some common mistakes I see musicians are making with their websites. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Smartbucken, and in this week's video, I will give you 5 mistakes musicians make on their website. Before I get started, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more music marketing related videos, just like this one. A website operates as your storefront, as your home. It's where your brand and your music come together in an easy to digest format. The ultimate goal of digital marketing is to move traffic and leads over from your social channels over to your website. And your website needs to be set up correctly and optimized to collect data from this traffic and your visitors. If you're only pushing traffic to other channels that you don't own, like YouTube, Spotify, Soundcloud, Twitch, Instagram, it will make it very difficult to grow your business and sell your products. Your website should present you, your value, that is your content, your music, and of course, your products. Your website should also gather all your social channels together. Whether it's your merch, your tickets to your shows, your consultancy products, that is when you hire your expertise out to others. You will sell all of these on your website. For example, if you're a musician and you're making music for movies and you want to expand this part of your business, you need to dedicate part and real estate on your website to showcase this. You need to present this side of your expertise, why you love making music for movies, and also how to get in touch with you if someone's interested. Or even better, a buy now button. You will then perhaps create content on a consistently basis in your channels around making music for movies in order to build trust and loyalty with your fans, with your potential buyers. This is how you would advertise your services to them. But when it's time for them to purchase, when you've sparked an interest in someone, they will head over to your website where they will learn more or buy your services. The process of starting a website starts with securing your domain. And we're talking about 2 different domains here. One that is, of course, your artist name and your stage name or your band name or your DJ name or your producer name. But the other should also be your personal name. You don't want anyone owning your personal name as a domain and start creating content on it. Even if you just go by your artist name, secure your personal name domain as well. Making a website is easy, but far too often I see musicians make some pretty big mistakes with their websites. That's why, to optimize your website, here are 5 mistakes musicians make with their website. No products. Whenever I work with a musician, I always start with their website and their products. How are we making money? Then I map out a content and a social strategy that will build trust and loyalty on the different expertise area, and that is perfectly selling your product through giving value. That way, their content is continuously converting their followers into paying fans and into customers. Of course, one of the main problems musicians face is that they don't have any products. I hate to break it to you, but making a living solely on streaming numbers is not a viable solution. You're just banking on one revenue stream. That's not how you set up a viable business. The most common products that you see are, of course, merch and ticket sales. But if you are a songwriter, a producer, or a sound engineer, for example, and you want to work with other musicians, these are your products as well. You may not have a buy now button on your website, but you do need to allocate real estate on your website to show this expertise and to tell them that you have this offering. Take a look at my website, where I showcase my consultancy, where you can hire me as a team member. I am very specific on the type of projects that I want to work on. And this approach usually weaves out the non-qualified leads, and the ones that come through are highly qualified and ready to convert. If I didn't have this on my website, I wouldn't tell the world that I'm open to be hired as a team member, that they have access to me. Therefore, I would miss out on a lot of opportunities. By the way, if you're interested in hiring me, click on the link below in the caption. Number 2, not collecting email addresses. So remember MySpace back in the days? Everyone was on it. But then Facebook came along suddenly, and then not a soul was seen on MySpace anymore. If you have 300,000 followers on Instagram and a new platform comes along that everybody uses instead, you wouldn't be able to move those followers from Instagram over to that new platform. You have to start over again. Collecting email addresses on your website will allow you to take ownership of your fandom. And even better, it gives you the power to sell to them. When you collect email addresses, you own them. And you can bring them to any email provider that you want and email them one-to-one or one-to-many. When you have someone's email, you have a direct line to them. Posting on social media these days only shows your content up to about 7% of the ones that are already following you. You have no control over this. If you send out an email blast to your list, everyone on that list will receive that email. And email marketing typically has a higher conversion than social medias. For example, the last email I sent out had an opening rate of 25%, which is a lot higher than what you get on Instagram, which is about 7%. If you want to learn more about setting up your email marketing as a musician, I'm going to link to a video in the caption that will help you with this and that will set this up step-by-step process. You're welcome. What you need to ensure is that you have these entrances, these gates on your website where people can leave their email addresses. I typically give away freebies in exchange for someone's email address in order to get more email addresses. It's usually easier to have some sort of reward in exchange for an email address. So you may be thinking, but what do I actually send out in an email? Well, my video that I mentioned will help you with this. But until you find the answer to this, just set up a simple form and entrance on your website where people can leave their information. Start building your email list. Number 3, not displaying content you make on other channels. So you're putting in tons of work and time and energy into creating content on your social media channels. Well, why not show this content on your website as well? Many web builders have an easy way to embed your social feeds onto your site. For example, I use Squarespace and I easily embedded my feed on my Instagram, where I share content several times per day. My website is then updated daily as well with fresh content. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, this is my handle. Follow me. I give tons of tips every day, and not just once a week like I do on YouTube. Then your website will feel like it's fresh and updated with new content because your social feeds are updated continuously with the content that you share. For example, if you have a YouTube channel, you should definitely embed this onto your website as well. This could increase your views on your YouTube because people are coming to your website perhaps from Google or Instagram or any other social channels. But YouTube integrations and embedding is not as common in most website builders. So you can use Power to create this YouTube feed on your website, just as I have with my YouTube content that you can see on my website. The same goes for your music on Spotify and Soundcloud and other streaming channels. Find a way to embed your streaming channels onto your website. Of course, you want to move those visitors over to your streaming channels as well so they can follow you there, but it's good to show a preview before they take that step. Embedding is the key here. Number 4, not taking advantage of the About Me section. So if someone heads over to your About Me page, which is typically the second most visited page on a website, you have sparked their interest and they want more. They want to know more about you. It's time to talk about you and share your story. This is prime real estate to connect with your fans. You need to give them a reason to connect with you on your social channels, to subscribe to your email list, and more importantly, buy your products. Many musicians just use this real estate showcasing who they are and what they've done, but they're missing why they're doing it. What is their purpose? Remember my video about people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Linking to it in the caption. So a great example of an About Me page is Major Lazer. Major Lazer even created a documentary to share their stories and their purpose. They are not talking about how many awards they have, how many singles and albums they've done. They're talking about why they're making music. They're giving their fans a reason to connect with them. By the time you've seen the documentary, you're most likely a fan for life. So please take advantage of this real estate and really connect with your fans. And if you need some help creating your bio, I have a video that will help with that as well in the caption. Number 5, not collecting and/or using analytics. So Google Analytics and the Facebook Pixels are two tools that are free that you need to install on your website right now. Google Analytics is a popular tool that's been around for a while, but I still see a lot of musicians that's not using it. They're not tracking their metrics on the sites that they have live. This is a free tool and you get tons of metrics where you can understand your audience, the demographics, but also how someone uses your website. What behavior do you see on your website? For example, you can see how much time someone spent on your website. You can see where your visitors are coming from, what geographical areas are they coming from. You can find out what search terms that resulted in traffic. What did people search on Google that resulted in a visit on your page? You will also get an understanding of what type of content that you need to create if you understand the metrics, because you will see what pages that people visit the most. And if people spend time on a page, they're more interested, right? But another metrics is also the drop-off rate. Are people leaving your site too soon? If they are, your website is not working. What is your drop-off rate on your website? Have you checked that recently? If you teach yourself Google Analytics, you will then get an understanding of how people view your brand, how they interact with your brand, and how your website works, and how you can change it to make it better. Staying on top of these metrics is important, regardless of how big you are, how much traffic you're generating. Remember what I say, the answers to your success is always in the metrics. And then you have Facebook Pixel, which is a piece of code that you get from Facebook for free that you can insert onto your website that will create a bridge from Facebook and Instagram, because Facebook owns Instagram, over to your website. Most people have Facebook running in the background whenever they're browsing. So by creating this bridge, you're then allowing Facebook to collect data from your website. The Pixel will start giving you data that you can start using to your advantage. This is going to help you create more targeted ads on social media. So if you're ever going to use advertising on social media, you need to install the Pixel right away. It doesn't matter if you're not running any ads right now. You might do so in a year from now. So by installing the Pixel now, the Pixel will start collecting data. The sooner you start collecting data, the better. So when it's time to create the ads, This information will help you create more targeted ads and create audiences based on the data that you're collecting, rather than just targeting random people. You can then start targeting people that have already interacted with your brand, your website, and your channels. Or you can find similar people to the ones that have interacted, which means the new targets that you're looking for are most likely to be interested in you because you're basing it off of the data that you collected of the ones that are interested in you. For a more in-depth explanation of the Google Analytics and the Facebook Pixel, check out my article in the caption field. The importance of a website extends to all aspects of your digital marketing strategy. This is your backbone of your online presence. Whenever you communicate, share content, or advertise, you will move consumers over to your website. So you need to spend some time and perhaps some money in getting your website optimized for perfection. So it's a well-oiled machinery that's presenting your brand and that's converting your leads and your traffic over to paying customers and paying fans. There you have it. 5 mistakes musicians make on their website. If you're making some of these mistakes, let me know. But more importantly, do something about it. If you like what you saw here today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and you'll receive more music marketing related videos every week. There you go.